Hey guys, Underground Geek here. Well, I guess if nobody else is going to talk about it, I'll talk about it. All new Guardians of the Galaxy number 9 came out. And, Marvel has made me so scared of comic books, of their covers, and how the cover might be different from the comic book inside. But this one pretty well hits the nail on the head about what's happening. But they snuck a selfie cover into the cover of the comic book. Technically, that's a selfie that's floating through through space. So I cringe a little bit, and then I'm okay with it, and then I cringe some more. But this is number 9. It's got Groot and Rocket the Raccoon in front of it, and their stuff's floating through space. And there's some bullets and some booze. You know, same-o, same-o. So basically, this is the storyline Shattered. This is mostly about Rocket and Groot. And this whole comic book pretty much is about just them. It's just them. Okay, so if you like Groot and Rocket, you're in for a good time. If you don't like them, you're in for a bad time, and you need to move on. But the writer is Gary Dugan, and the penciler is Mike Hawthorne, and the inker is Terry Pollitt. The colorist is Jordi Belair. Lettering is VC's Corey Pettit, because apparently he does everybody's lettering. Logo and design, Manny Medeiros. Well, he did a good job because I like it. Cover artists are Aaron Kudir and Evie Scorsina. What did I tell you guys about these names? Assistant editor is Charles Beecham, and editor is Jordan D. White. Can you believe that? It's 2 guys. Unless Jordan D. White is transitioning. He could be. Have you seen him? But anyway. So let's move on. Basically, we start out with rocket ship here, and it looks like it's been pieced together. He's got rocket rules spray painted on the side of it. They're headed to this place. It says, "There she is, the Stolid Ring, a remote megacity floating around a dying star. It's a nice place for a thieves' den." He says, "Can't believe I've never taken you here before. The extra legal market we're looking for is just a short walk this way. They have everything." So apparently they're a black market. They're extra legal. They're not black market. They're extra legal. So I'm not necessarily a fan of Groot's redesign here. I do like the body somewhat, but I feel like it's a little too uniform. You know, he is a plant creature, so it shouldn't be that symmetrical. You know what I mean? It's just a little, I don't know. That's just my little pet peeve. The art in this comic is so-so. It dips up and down. There's a lot of detail in it, but the lines aren't that good. You know what I mean? But anyway, so they're traveling through there. Rocket is immediately accosted by these 2 women who sexually harass him. And so then he proceeds to get on to Twitter and tell everybody about how that time that they wouldn't let him go until his fine butt gave him his phone number and everything and all that kind of stuff. Oh, no, never mind. That was another story. Anyway, so they accost him, kiss him, and he tells them, "Hey, there's more where that comes from, ladies." And they walk off, and he's like, "If you want, geez." And them 2 PHAT aliens walk off. And so that's instantly kind of flags. A red flag goes off in Rocket's head. Then he knows something's up. So they travel in there. They're going to see the merchant, you know, that's got the stuff that they need. And so after a little discussion, it's not long before they are noticing a bright light outside, and someone teleports in. And this guy looks just like Oz from DC Rebirth, so I don't know what that's about, but he looks just like him. But anyway, so the merchant guy attacks him with a gun, and he instantly just shanks this guy in half with his scythe, because he don't play. So then he says, "Hey, you there." And Rocket gives him a little quip and then starts firing his blaster at him. And I think that's kind of a little bit of a small blaster for Rocket. You know, usually he's got those oversized blasters. But anyway, that's a Rocket-sized blaster. He probably made it. But he blasts him, and apparently the guy's bulletproof, so he goes to attack Rocket with the scythe, and he gets Groot's forearm, and they get into a tussle, and it's I don't know, it's a decent little fight, and then Rocket's knocked down, and he's pretty well dazed, and then Groot goes on the assault, smacks the guy, and then grabs Rocket Raccoon and runs away. Okay, so when they get to the ship, something's happening to Groot's legs. It's growing into the ground, and he can't move. So he selflessly throws Rocket into the ship, smashes the autopilot, and then sends Rocket on his way. Rocket's not having it. He's trying to get to him, but he can't. It was a very touching moment. You know, it just goes to show that Groot really cares about Rocket, and Rocket really cares about Groot. And then as he sails off, you see just in time Groot gets whacked with the bad guy's scythe, and then the smoke instantly covers them, and it's very dramatic, very movie scene-ish. And Rocket just solemnly floats off into space with his ship, and he's, you know, at this point he's very sad, very upset. He's talking to himself, and then we cut back to Groot, and he's in pieces. But as you know, Groot in pieces can still live. Well, the guy actually says, "I intend to fix that. It will be a moment of pain for you, but I will spare you a life of servitude to the meat. Deep breath, my friend. When you awaken, you will be returned to your original purpose. Not for long, friend, for I am the gardener, and I have many plots that must be reclaimed." Now, I don't know who this guy is. I've never heard of that guy before. I mean, I'm sure he's some kind of old villain that they've kind of repurposed. But he picks up the last pieces of Groot and just throws him through the hole, and then goes through the hole after him. So obviously he's going to bring him back and maybe mind control him somehow or whatever. Well, Rocket's snotting and sneezing. He's so upset, but then he realizes that he has a splinter of Groot in his hand. And you know I know that all you newbies have watched the movie where there was just a little stick of him left and it ended up growing, but there's something coming to that. But then we cut to Star-Lord looking just like Chris Pine, and he's working on this giant robot that looks just like Cyborg from DC. I don't know, I guess I missed this, but he's rebuilding something, and it's going to be a heck of a robot when it's done. Pretty crazy looking. But it may be a Celestial. I'm not sure. I haven't been keeping up with this. But anyway, so Rocket runs through there, gives a little quip to Star-Lord, throws the stick in the pot, and brings him back. But you can kind of see Groot starting to wake up a little bit in his little twig, just like he did in the movie. But it kind of makes you wonder what's going to happen, because now there's technically two Groots. I don't know if they're going to come to wits in the next couple of issues and maybe have to fight or what. I'm not sure. But then it all ends, and you find that Mojo has actually been watching them the whole time on his television show, because he's like a space TV host, if you know, from the 90s with X-Men and whatnot. And they just keep throwing these old villains in there, you know, for no reason at all. But for this, it kind of works because this is a decent comic. But anyway, that's where it ends. The next issue kind of looks like a painting on acid. But anyway, we shall see how this goes. I mean, I kind of like this issue. I think it was pretty good. I think it was, you know, there wasn't that much going on, but it kept me watching it kept me reading it the whole time. The artwork wasn't that good, except at the end it got a little bit better with the close-ups on Rocket and Star-Lord. But, you know, it was pretty good considering all the things that Marvel puts out right now. I think this is one of their leaders. I mean, if you look at Captain Marvel and America compared to this, I mean, this is a rock star, but then, you know, that would make anything look good. Where they're like a 2 or a 3, this is like a 6 or a 7, you know, so this looks a lot better. I probably give this like a 7 or 7.5 out of 10. It's really good. Artwork dips down a little bit, but it got my attention, and I really felt the characters' emotions. You know what I mean? I really felt them. But anyway, you can kind of see where it may be going to go in the next couple issues, but I'm excited. You know, I'm probably going to read the next one. So tell me if you're already reading this. But hit the like, hit the thumbs up button on there, hit the notifications button so you get all my videos. I give this a read. You definitely need to check it out. Have a great day, guys. See you later. Bye.